Concerns have escalated regarding President Trump's efforts to gain more control over the U.S. Postal Service, as many worry that such actions could undermine the agency's ability to deliver mail reliably across the nation, a fundamental aspect of its mission. White House officials have indicated that there are no immediate plans for Mr. Trump to take over the Postal Service, which has functioned independently for over 50 years. However, the president hinted at a potential major restructuring of the agency, which he has criticized and sought to challenge repeatedly. Many observers speculate that this initiative may lead to the privatization of the Postal Service, a possibility Mr. Trump has previously mentioned. This prospect has alarmed union representatives, advocacy groups, and Democratic lawmakers, who argue that privatizing or outsourcing key parts of the service could jeopardize thousands of postal jobs and increase costs for consumers. Critics also warn that rural communities would be disproportionately impacted, as private companies may find it less profitable to deliver mail in these areas. Brian L. Renfroe, president of the National Association of Letter Carriers, expressed that such changes might lead to a significant decline in service, particularly affecting rural residents. A takeover of the Postal Service could reignite worries about the president's influence over mail-in ballot deliveries during elections. In 2020, as mail-in voting surged due to the pandemic, Mr. Trump faced accusations from political opponents of attempting to manipulate mail delivery in areas that leaned Democratic. Millions of Americans depend on the Postal Service for their ballots to be delivered on time. On Friday, Mr. Trump mentioned that the White House would explore a merger to address the Postal Service's financial struggles, although he emphasized that it would still operate as the Postal Service. He indicated that Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, noted for his business acumen, would assist in this endeavor. "We aim to have a postal service that functions effectively and does not incur significant losses," Mr. Trump stated, describing the agency as a financial burden on the country. His remarks followed a report from the Washington Post about an impending executive order that could dismiss members of the Postal Service's governing board and transfer its oversight to the Commerce Department. For Mr. Trump, the Postal Service represents a politically appealing target, particularly as its workforce consists largely of unionized employees who have actively opposed privatization efforts. The administration's push for change comes amidst ongoing financial difficulties and decreasing mail volume at the Postal Service. In the 2024 fiscal year, the agency reported a loss of $9.5 billion, an increase from $6.5 billion the previous year. However, there have been some signs of financial improvement, including a profit reported in the first quarter of the fiscal year.